The chapter is chapter 3, and the title of it is Context and the One Ring to Rule Them All in Your Emotional Brain. This context is made up of two things: the circumstances of the present moment. So, whom you're with, where you are, whether the situation is novel or familiar, risky or safe, etc. The brain state in the present moment, whether you're relaxed or stressed, trusting or not, loving or not right now in the moment. Sensation is a context, such as flirting. So I'll give you an example. She puts, you're flirting with a special person and they start tickling you. That flirting can lead to sex. It can. Now imagine being annoyed by the special someone and they try to tickle you. You will become irritated and want to punch that person in the face, which I have felt that many a times. It's the same sensation, but because the context is different, your perception of the sensation is different. Learning to recognize the context that increases your brain's perception of the world as a sexy place, and having skills to maximize the sexy context is key to increasing your sexual satisfaction. Say context changes how your brain responds to sex. Doesn't just mean set the mood, like with candles, corsets, and a locked bedroom door. It also means that when you're in a great sex positive context, almost everything can activate your curiosity. What's this? Desire's approach to sex. And when you're in a not so great context, either external circumstances or internal circumstances, it doesn't matter how sexy you are, how much you love them, how fancy the underwear is. Almost nothing will activate that curious, appreciative, desirous experience. Context of our emotional brain, the one ring process, all of our emotional, motivational systems, including stress responses, fear, aggression, and shutdown, disgust, all forms of pleasure, from physical to artistic, love, and social connection, of course, sex. All of these emotions, functions, all at once, in the same place in our emotional one ring. Cluster of enjoying, expecting, and eagerness, where all of our emotional responses, sex, stress, love, disgust, compete and interact and influence each other. The three systems are the enjoying system, which manages all forms of enjoyment, including sweet taste, sexual sensation, the perception of beauty, the joy of love, and the thrill of winning. So she says the enjoying system is perhaps the closest to what we generally think of as a reward. The enjoying mechanism is the yes or the no in our brain. That's the first system. Then expecting is the next system, is the process of linking what's happening now with what should come next. Eagerness is the third system in our brain, is a generic gas pedal for our emotional brain. Eagerness fuels the desire to move towards something or away from something. So when eagerness is activated with stress mechanism, we search for safety. When it has an attachment mechanism, we seek affection. And when sexual accelerator, we pursue sexual stimulation. So she says when eagerness is activated, it is known as a moment of special temptation. The experience of urgent craving or yearning is powered by the eagerness system. The eagerness system is context dependent. So she gives an example. If your spouse is kissing you, it should activate your sexual accelerator. The expecting system has done its job. Your accelerator has learned that kissing is sexually relevant. When the cue that activates expecting is not only sexual relevant, but also nice, which depends on the context. It activates enjoying, and when it's nice enough, it gives you a rise for eagerness. Desirable, pleasurable, and sexually relevant are not always the same thing. Your brain can enjoy something without eagerness for more. She goes on to say it can expect that a kind of stimulation will lead to sex. And expecting may activate desire, movement towards, but it may also activate dread, movement away. Depending on the context, your brain can even be eager for something without particularly enjoying it. Is expecting eagerness and enjoying are context dependent. So if it is activated by stress and attachment issues, then sexually relevant stimuli may not be perceived as sexy at all. I'm going to read something that she put in here. It's like a scenario. Let's see. So it says, let's walk through the three systems in different contexts to see how they can change sexual responses. Context 1. Before you get pregnant, your partner lies down in bed next to you and you enjoy your usual end of the day cuddle while you talk through plans for tomorrow. Your partner's hands begin to wander over your body, which activates expecting and enjoying. Since you're in a relaxed, affectionate state of mind, and pretty soon eagerness joins the party. So you start kissing and letting your hands wander too, and one thing leads to another. Context 2. 2 months after you give birth, your partner lies down in bed next to you, waking up for a rare and precious sound sleep, wanting to cuddle and talk through plans for tomorrow. You turn into your partner's arms and talk for a while, and their hands begin to wander over your body. Your sleep-deprived, lactating, different shaped body with its still healing vagina and feet half a size bigger than they were a year ago. A body that has been constantly pawed by little baby hands. Your partner's touch is this strange new body of yours activates expecting, which fills you with dread, eagerness to avoid sex. So you turn back over and say, honey, not tonight. That was me. And your partner thinks, and maybe you do too, I don't understand. This used to be great. Same stimulation, different context, different responses by your emotional wondering, leading to different outcomes. We could replace give birth in that example with put your parents in a hospice care, learn your partner was cheating on you, or get laid off from a job and get a somewhat similar outcome. On the other hand, we could replace it with decide to try to get pregnant, renew your vows, or win the lottery and get a pretty different outcome because you're going to want some. In the first chapter, we looked at how our sexual hardware, your body, your brain, and the context influence your overall sexual being. We've learned that all three elements are made of the same basic parts in everyone, but each person's brain, body, and context are unique. In other words, we each have a unique garden in which we grow our sexual well-being. So we need to realize our brain perception of sensation is context dependent. Like tickling, if your partner tickles you when you are already feeling turned on, it can be fun. But if he tickles you or she tickles you when you're angry or you're irritated, same sensation, different context, therefore different perception. When you're stressed out and your brain interprets just about everything as a potential threat, when you're turned on, your brain can interpret just about anything as sexually appealing because context. Expecting, anticipating, eagerness, wanting, and enjoying, liking are separate functions in your brain. You can want without liking, craving, anticipate without wanting, dread, or any other combinations. For most people, the best context for sex is low stress plus highly affectionate and explicitly exotic. Think through your context so you can have better sex. That is all for tonight. Hope you enjoy and hope you get to know your context so you can have better sex. Okay, I will see you all next week on Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is talking about emotional context. I will see you all next week. Y'all have a blessed night. Peace.